Hello, my name is Joanna Rivas, and I'm a filmmaker, a settler, a newcomer to Canada who lives in Burnaby. It's been over 2 years now since I moved to BC, and at that time I did not understand why every public event in the city starts with land acknowledgement. We live on stolen traditional territories of Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish Coast Salish peoples. And this is when I started to learn about indigenous history of Canada and understood why land acknowledgement is so important.
Thanks, Joanna. It is so important. I am joining today from Galiano Island, BC, which is the shared, asserted, and unceded traditional territories of the Penelakut, Lemulcha, Kitsalem First Nations, and other Halkamenim-speaking peoples, and the ceded traditional territory of the Tsawwassen First Nation. I'm Jocelyn. I'm a producer and designer, and I'm working with Joanna and the rest of the SMI pod on these select impact films.
One of the films that went through Good Pitch Vancouver is Klabona Keepers, directed by BC filmmaker Tamo Campos and Jasper Snow Rosen, produced by Rhoda Kwok, and shot in Iskut, northern western BC. It will be launching later this summer. The film Klabona Keepers dives deeply into the story of indigenous land defenders from Iskut, from archival stories of the violence of colonization to overcoming trauma and finding strength in defending the land. The personal stories in this film will leave you forever impacted.
So the filmmakers have a two-part impact goal for this film. They aspire to have the sacred headwaters of the Clapan mountain range in northern BC remain off limits forever to oil, coal, gas, and other mineral exploitation. But their other overarching goal is to use the hard-won victories of the Klabona Keepers to inspire other indigenous communities to take a stand on behalf of their land. They really want to use their knowledge gained and their experiences to empower other communities. So this film is like nothing but a tool to be used. The film, it went through the Good Pitch Vancouver program in 2018. And then the filmmakers were also invited to come back to the Good Pitch Vancouver Virtual sessions in the fall of 2020. This was one of the first Good Pitch Vancouver Virtuals that I had the pleasure of attending. And I'm so proud of this BC film. The generosity was contagious in the room, the virtual space, and the emotions were overwhelming. It was so touching and so meaningful. And there were so many strong connections made to help support the film, as you'll see in this reel, and the work of the Klabona Keepers. Joanna was also there, but considering the emotional element, I don't know if it was a bit blurry for you.
Yeah, I've never ever cried so much at any virtual, actually any sort of event before or after. But here's the highlight reel. Please take a look and see yourself.
For the past 15 years, Klabona Keepers have had to fight coal and gas tenures permitted by the government. We will not be displaced again.
It's still a fight. We have it protected for 20 years, but we want it protected forever.
I want to see justice for this community, and we are looking for your support.
You can reach out to me for any support that you need to amplify what's happening on the ground.
We would love to be able to promote this film on all of our social media channels and make an introduction to the Indigenous Council at York University.
I'm looking forward to screening the film and hopefully being able to have some speakers from the community.
A minimum of 10 grand of in-kind services, Volvo Productions, whatever you need to get this done right. I'm here for you.
We want to offer a personal pledge of $200 from the pod. We're a powerhouse altogether, and we're totally here for you.
So we have between $1,000 and $2,000 that we can pledge towards this film.
I would like to pledge $5,000 towards a youth mentorship program about territorial management led by Indigenous communities, and I think that's the way to get her done.
I know that our very dear family friend, the late Jenny Kwok, was really involved, and so I am going to make a personal pledge in Jenny's memory. Certainly, the Get 'em Den are more than happy to help facilitate screenings and get the word out through all of our social media and just really solidifying those relationships between our nations. I know that that is like so important in creating community and support and solidarity.
We'd like to pledge $20,000 for a fulsome impact campaign that allows you to make the change that you see fit and the change that you want to make in the world.
I would like to thank everybody who accepted our invitation.
This is mind-blowing. Like, I'm overwhelmed with all the support that we have for our cause.
I remember an elder, I think it was August Brown, came to me and he goes, if biology has taught us anything, it's made up to 70% water. You've been here for what, 6 weeks drinking from the Skeena? So more than flesh and bones, more than anything, you've been told you are the sacred headwaters and you are this watershed. And when you stand up, you have that entire life force behind you. And it was these type of lessons and the lessons of being in the community for the last 7 years that has just made it such an honor to work on this film as a gift to the community, to say thank you for those lessons in changing my life.